Now, the Stanley Park is on the other side of the water here. You don't get to. I just realized I'm in Canada and there are lots of Canadian geese. Okay, now, which one would you rather live? San Francisco or Vancouver? I've been riding for 2 hours. I'd like to go on one of those planes. We did it years ago when we went to Alaska, and I really enjoyed it. Plane is taking off. Vancouver Convention Center and Canada Place. Alright, time to head back. those places with a fountain on the bottom. Okay, there's a pretty little dog park with a little fence right by the marina. This city, I just can't believe how beautiful it is. It's funny, I'm from Poland, we call it foka. Okay,
Okay, fuck
okay,
off.
I understood this.
Okay, good.
Okay, somebody just fell or something or broke the bike. Luckily, it wasn't me. It is, right now, the sun is just shining right on those buildings. It actually looks better than it was several hours ago.
Someone told me that.
No matter where I look, the views are getting prettier and prettier. So I'm walking through this little forest or park because I want to get to the totem poles. Hopefully it's not too far because I'm kind of getting tired. I didn't get much sleep last night as I was learning things about editing YouTube channel. And now, so it took me from Bellingham all the way here, probably took me like at least hour and 45 minutes. Now, I rented the bike. You could have rented a bike from some of the city bikes, kind of like in New York where they have, I think it's Chase, sponsored by Chase. Or you go with actual companies that they have a nicer bikes, and they are kind of little walk from here, but there's a street that there's a bunch of companies renting a bikes, but also actually nice bikes. They are charging anywhere from $7, I feel like, an hour. That's probably the cheapest one I've seen. $7 an hour, Canadian dollars. Now my bike was $10 an hour. I rented it from Stanley Bike Rental, I think it was called. And I was very happy with them. Go blue, baby. Oh yeah.
2006.
Now if you ever come here and you don't have a bike, which I highly recommend it, and you're just walking here or driving, probably parking around totem pole wouldn't be bad, because you can actually, from there you can see both sides without walking too far. I mean, you just cross the little parking lot. So this is what would that be? This is the side where the boats are coming out, the cruise ships are coming from cruise terminal, and they're heading all the way here under the bridge towards the ocean. Seaplane taking out. Not sure where he's flying to. There's a cruise ship. It's probably going to Alaska. I think this tower, it's actually called CN Tower, the one in the back, behind right behind the Chevron gas station. Just like in Toronto, there's a CN Tower. There's a CN Tower in Vancouver. Canada Place. And that's where kind of I ended up riding my bike and I turned around. This area covered with the grass, this building, there's a big building underneath. That's a Vancouver Convention Center. And you're looking at the whole downtown. I'm at this place called Hallelujah Point. It sounds like people used to live here back in the early 19th century. I think the park opened in 1888. They removed the Chinese people. Then they evicted everybody else in 1931. But there was still one person, sounds like in 1957 was the last person who was forced to leave this place. I had a bike for a total of almost 3 hours. It cost me $22 US for those 3 hours that they charged me. It was like 2 hours and 45 minutes, which I thought was an excellent deal. Because even though it wasn't an e-bike, but I got a little workout. When I rented bike in New York City, in Central Park, there was a e-bike. It was around $30 or $32 for an hour, which was totally a rip-off, I thought. Okay, so the parking, pretty much everywhere you park in the Stanley Park, you have to pay. But it's pretty easy to pay. You can basically plug in your license plate and you pay, just specifying what zone you parked in. There are also apps. There's I think 2 or 3 different apps that worked. So I said I was going to be here for 4 hours. So I paid for 4 hours. But I think once you exceed certain number of hours, it charges you for 24 hours. So for the 24 hours, it's like a day pass. It was, it ends at 6 in the morning, I think. It was $13, which, consider where I'm at, the location, $13 for 24 hours, I feel like it's a steal. Hundreds of boats here, all different sizes, shapes. Okay, I finally see the parking where my car is, because I'm really kind of tired. I rode just about 12 miles on the bike, which is not spectacular when you think about it. I had the bike for 2.5 hours. I had to stop, lots of pictures. But workout was good. I wouldn't be able to get 12 miles of walking for sure. I would die.